Welcome to the Random Hour. I'm your host, Kyle, and as usual, I am joined by Devin of More Sports.
Hello.
And today we are sitting down with Jason Lyles. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Jason Lyles, indie rock music artist from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
All right. Thank you, Jason, for coming on our show. And our first question is going to be: we're a bit of a nerd in pop culture, sundry podcasts. Other than music, what are some other things you nerd out about?
Oh man, how long is your podcast?
As
A lot
long
of
as you
stuff.
want to be.
Cool. Well, there are certain franchises of science fiction I love. Big Godzilla fan, Lifetime fan. Own every movie. Got them on DVD and Blu-ray. Big fan of the Alien franchise. Love that. Alien's my favorite movie ever. Of course, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Star Trek, all the usual stuff. Some of the weirder stuff is some sci-fi authors. I really like Stephen Baxter, and um, some stuff by Alan D. Foster, and old stuff by Arthur C. Clarke. I really love reading those old books, and some of my science fiction songs are based on weird stuff like that. So yeah.
Nice. See, when you sent our email, we actually on our show Popcorn Buckets, we reviewed a good chunk of Godzilla, and the Aliens franchise is literally being released right now as we speak.
Wait,
Nice.
is it? Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, Aliens 3 is coming out this Sunday.
Okay.
Sweet.
I knew it was close.
Yeah.
I thought we were wrapping up.
Yeah, I know way too much about Godzilla.
It's okay. Devin's not the biggest Godzilla fan. And so I made him sit through a bunch of the Godzilla movies, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, giant wrestling.
It really is. They're just wrestling. That's all they're doing. Explain to me how Godzilla can get on his tail from 50 yards away, drop on his tail, and drop kick from 50 yards away. I'll wait.
The double
I mean-
flying drop quick kick. He doesn't do it just once. He's got to do it twice.
Yep.
Exactly. Explain that to me. And then he fights trash, literal trash. I'll wait.
I am Hedera. I am pollution personified.
Well, one movie in the series I can't stand is Son of Godzilla. I can't stand
See,
that
I
one.
don't like Ibra. Ibra's
Oh,
my
man.
least favorite.
Not a Fukuda
Really?
fan, I see.
Well, his weakness is the color yellow. It's like Green Lantern.
Right.
So
I'm trying to think. Oh, we've been doing Gamera too. The giant
dig some
space
Gamera.
turtle.
Yeah, cool. I've seen a little bit of Gamera. I'm not as big into Gamera as Godzilla.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
they're on Tubi and Amazon right now. A good bit of the older ones, and then they're definitely when like Godzilla started like gearing more towards kids. This is on par with like Gamera's just like first movie, just a horror movie, like science fiction horror movie, and then the rest of it is just like geared towards kids, and so it's like really
Right.
cheesy and campy, and it's kind of funny at times because it's like, why is Gamera always around these children when there's problems? So,
It's friend to all children.
oh yeah.
Um,
So our next question: what song do you hope the lyrics have the most impact on the listener?
I guess that would have to be. Oh man, it's hard. It's a toss up between Deflated and Divided Life. I would say. Deflated is a song about. It's about the death process and going through that and kind of making peace with it. And then Divided Life is kind of about life in America where everybody's on Facebook arguing and hating each other. So
Okay.
Awesome. So our follow-up question to that is, what song holds the most meaning for you?
most meaning for me. Well, I guess as far as like personal meaning, I have a lot of songs that are based on some science fiction stuff that I like, which is very personal to me. But it's not really something that has, based on an event in my life or something that has emotionally affected me. Once again, Deflated is probably the one that is, the most close to me like that affected me. 'Cause honestly, It was about when my guinea pig died, and it was just so sad because he was sick, and just seeing him go through that process and dying, it was really sad. And he was just like, you could just see his life force just like slipping away, and and once I wrote that song, I was all sad about it. Once I wrote that song, it was like I'd gotten it all out. It was just like total catharsis, and it was therapeutic. And then we got a really good song out of it.
So, I saw on your YouTube that you've uh, you've done some like music videos. What are some of the most difficult or challenging music videos you've had to make?
Yeah, well, like if you do a performance video, it's pretty easy because you're kind of just in one place and it's just a lot of different shots of the same thing from different angles. Um, for some of the story videos that I've done, um, I guess it would be probably either Tandem or Divided Life, because Divided Life I shot myself on my phone and had to edit all that myself, so that was difficult. And my daughter stars in that video, and we filmed part of it while we were on a trip to Charlotte to go to a concert, and then part of it we filmed around town in Chattanooga at different locations. The tandem video, we actually had a van from an adventure van company. A friend of mine I know in town, he has a van company called Nomad Be Happy. And it's one of those where they outfit the van for you, what people go camping and go to national parks and stuff. So we had that van, and we had a young couple who were kind of the stars of the video, and they were going on this trip. So I had to drive that van a good long ways all around from from Chattanooga, my house, to some different locations, then up to Dunlap, Tennessee, to some different locations. So it was a lot of driving in that video, and a lot of getting shots inside the van, outside the van. Here we are camping, here we are exploring. It was a lot of different locations. And it was also multiple days, too. I think it took us about 3 or 4, maybe even 5 shoots to get that whole video done. Yeah, performance videos, easy. Story videos, it's like making a short film. You got to do all this stuff. And I have videographers and people I work with who are way better at it than I am. And if you watch the Divided Life video, and you can see it is done on my phone, you can kind of tell, but
Hmm.
I think it's pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good when I watched it. I was like, it's pretty creative.
Thank you.
So what's been the most fun music video to film?
Most fun, let's see. Rolling through them in my head here. I guess the video we did for the acoustic version of Lift Me Up, we did, I guess that was back in 2020 or something like that. It might have been before that. Anyway, for that one, it was kind of a story and performance video, because the idea was I was kind of walking around town like lonely, and then I slowly meet up with the other musicians in the band, and then we kind of like just play on a street corner, and people come up and start dancing along to the music and stuff. And so that was really fun to shoot. It was a nice sunny day, the weather cooperated, and we got it all in like just one morning. We just knocked it all out. We found a location. There was a building there there was nothing in it at the time, so we got on their steps and did everything there, did the performance, and so it was really fun.
Awesome. So, Jason, since you do travel a lot from different venues throughout the country, and we'd love to ask this question for all our musician guests. What is your favorite road snack to take with you?
Favorite road snack? Oh man. Well, I try to eat healthy, but man, those gas station combos. I mean, you get like the pizza flavored ones, and that is like, that just says out on the road going to a gig right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I used to get those when I was like on the road a lot. And I get a lemonade and a bag of pizza combos.
I haven't had
Yes.
combos in a while. See, I'm doing the whole gig thing wrong. I literally drive I'm probably averaging about 2 hour drive, and as soon as I'm done, I get in the car, because we have a cookout here in Tifton. So I'm like, dude, I'm going to cookout at 2 in the morning when I'm pulling across that county line. So I'm doing it all wrong.
You're a fan of War of the Worlds, even have the tattoo. What element to the book drew you to science fiction and have inspired your songwriting?
Well, I read the book for the first time when I was a kid, and I guess when you're a kid, you have a lot of books like sort of marketed to you, like books that are written for kids and, young adult novels, whatever they call them. But that was one of the first books I read that was not. It was like, this is a classic book written for adults. And the things that intrigued me about it, first of all, was the setting. It was set right there at the turn of the 19th century. And so that just like blew my mind. We got science fiction happening like in this like fictional past, and just opened up my mind to a lot of possibilities. And it's also, it captured my imagination with the aliens and the invasion and how it was all told from the point of view of this one character and his brother as he tries to survive this ordeal. So it's kind of written journalistic style. It's not written in a very obvious, kids book way where here's the plot, here's the next part, um, and so that really intrigued me. And beyond that, it's something that I've grown more to appreciate as I've gotten older, because there are so many things that you can explore about, the time period when it was written in, like what influenced H.G. Wells to write that book during that time. And you find out he capitalized on a lot of like, um, I forget what they call it, but like fear of the century turning. It was almost like Y2K. People were scared, but it was like Y 1900. And so there was a lot of this fear going on. There's a lot of fear of like mechanized war coming, and it did for World War One. And so he predicted a lot of the future, and he had a lot of anti-imperialist themes in the book too, because he was like, when he wrote it, um, the British Empire was going on, and he was like, we're going around the world taking over these cultures who aren't as technologically advanced as us, and like, hey, this can happen to us too. And so there's a lot to explore with that, and it just the staying power of it. In 120 whatever years, it's never been out of print. So, and it's been imitated and made into movies and remade, and that everything that's an alien invasion story goes back to the War of the Worlds. It's just some sort of rehash of it, and I like it. It's the OG.
Okay.
Nice. In your opinion, what is the most underrated sci-fi movie?
Underrated sci-fi movie. Well, I don't know if it's underrated, but I think it did kind of fly under the radar, and had kind of mixed reviews. It was a movie that came out on Hulu a couple of years ago called No One Will Save You. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Um, but it's sort of a sci-fi horror movie, and it's one of those movies where there's no dialogue. There's just this girl, and these aliens are invading, and it's just what she does and the whole experience of it. And so there's this subtext, this subplot of her overcoming this really bad thing that happened to her in her past, and like actually fighting these aliens or whatever helps her to overcome that. But no dialogue at all, just stuff happening. And I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite movies. No One Will Save You.
That's like I'm looking it up real fast, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, oh okay, yes, yes. I haven't seen this yet. Okay, I thought this was a horror slasher. I didn't realize this was Alien.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
this is a horror flick.
yeah, it's sort of horror because it's scary. There's home invasion kind of stuff, but it's aliens, and it's one of those things where I think they do the aliens really well because their motives are hard to figure out. They're kind of unknown. You don't know why they're doing this, and that's the way it should be, because they're aliens. We can't understand their reasoning.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember seeing that, and for some weird reason, I guess the way I think what threw me off is how Hulu has like their subcategories, and they've got it recognized as a thriller, and the thumbnail
Hmm.
to me just looked like it was a house out in the woods, and I'm like, okay, it's a slasher film.
Yeah, it
So
wasn't
that's why.
marketed very well. I don't think it was marketed properly, but yeah, it was a fantastic movie.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, we just learned something new today. Okay, I honestly thought that was a slasher. I'm not the biggest slasher genre person, so like I can sit here and listen to classics like Scream and all that, but overall, I'm like, eh. Mousetrap was a weird one.
Yeah. I think I saw a trailer for that once, but I think I only saw it like once. So I think I was like, oh, that's the thing, and then I forgot about it promptly.
Yeah, I think bad marketing and flying under the radar kind of like lost it in a lot of people. But yeah, the music is really good in it too. I really love the score. They use the the score uses handbells in it, and I've never heard that in a movie score before, and I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what is one of your favorite sci-fi movie soundtracks?
Hmm. Let's see. Favorite sci-fi movie soundtracks. Well, of course, Interstellar is really good.
Oh,
Of course, no one will save you. A lot of the classic ones, of course, like Star Wars and all the different themes in that. I don't know if I could pick just one. It's like saying, "Who's your favorite band?" It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's too many.
Sometimes you can have more than one favorite.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
name off a couple if you want.
I think you just did.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Name off some more. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see.
Devin, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
What was I gonna say? I don't forgot.
I don't know.
I did have it. I had a follow up question. Oh, handbells. Is handbells like talking about like the giant bell thing, or like you talking about things that are like this big that fit in your hand?
So
That's what it was.
it's like normally like this big, and it's on a handle, and then so a handbell choir is like so they're like all set up, and each person hits a different note with the bell because each bell has a different one. Normally, handbell choirs are done more around winter for like Christmas stuff. I'm
Oh,
thinking, and I don't know what it is, but there was an old monster movie I think we watched that had handbells in it, but for the life of me, I can't remember what
gosh, I
because I
Yeah.
don't
remember
know.
because I remember watching it and then stopping it and I'm like backed it up and I was like, oh, those are handbells, but I
Was
can't
it
remember
Phantom of the
which movie.
Opera? No, it wasn't Phantom of the Opera.
It,
Oh gosh. Sorry, Jason. Yeah, for our show Popcorn Buckets, we're recording the old classic Universal monster movies from like the old 1900s through now. So we've watched so many of the classics, and we're like,
we're working on
Wow.
some of the original Universal monsters, so
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, handbells are something you usually hear in like high church services and Christmas things and
Hmm.
stuff like that. It's like to hear it in that context and the way they used it was really well done.
Lord,
Okay.
speaking of the holidays, has anybody got a favorite holiday sci-fi movie?
Well, I don't know. I guess you could count this as sci-fi, but my daughter, I just showed her Gremlins the other night, and she
Really?
absolutely loved it. Yeah, we went to the local comic book store. I was picking up some comics, and they have like a whole section on the other side that's like games and figures and memorabilia and stuff. And she saw a bunch of the Gremlins stuff over there. She saw the Mogwai, and she saw these like life-size statues of Gremlins and stuff. She's like, "Daddy, what is that? I'm gonna have to check this out. I need to see this." And so we go home, we watch it, and I'm like, "You didn't know this was a Christmas movie, did you?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, it is a Christmas movie." But oh my god, she was dying. She loved it so much with those gremlins running around causing chaos, blowing shit up. It was so fun.
Really? Have y'all watched the second one yet, or are you
I'm
waiting
not
to
gonna
do the
lie to you,
second one?
Devin. I was
Um, I don't know. We might do the second one. I heard they're making a third one. I heard a rumor. Because I mean, guess that's the thing now, doing all this nostalgia stuff from the '80s. But yeah, I should probably show her the second one too. It's got way more different kinds of gremlins in it.
Go ahead, Kyle. I accidentally cut you off.
no, you're fine. I was gonna say I thought you were reaching there, and I was like, I really can't think of any on the top of my head. And I just googled, and there were some interesting ones,
Dude,
which I
oh,
was not expecting.
you guys want to hear a funny story? Jason, you just reminded me of Gremlins. So at the comic book shop in the town that I'm in Tifton, they also have a Gremlin statue, and they're pet friendly. And I went in there one day to pick some stuff up, and I had our dog Jack with me, and he almost peed on the Gremlin. He was not a fan.
Oh wow.
Like he also the comic book store also has like this huge like Deadpool figure, and like I can clean up Gremlin, but I'm like, you're not peeing on Deadpool. You're not peeing on Deadpool. I cannot clean up Deadpool. And it's just like
Oh
you'd open
man.
up that core memory. I was like, ah. But speaking of comic books, what did you pick up this week?
There's an Alien series out now called Paradiso, or I think it's Paradiso or Paradiso. Um, it's about aliens running amok at this really nice um, space resort. That's basically it. Aliens killing people at a space resort.
I'm gonna have to look that one up. I don't know if the comic book shop I'm at has it yet or not. That sounds familiar. I gotta look at the cover. I know that earlier this week I picked up some Spider-Man. I'm a huge Spider-Man guy, and I'm trying to collect like all 1,000 issues of Amazing Spider-Man.
Wow,
Trying to at least,
Yep.
that's quite the
but
endeavor.
I'm not
I
getting
need
it. Well,
I need
no,
to
no,
get back
no.
into Superman.
I'm not picking it. Well, I say I am, but I like the old stuff from the '60s, like the original like one from '63 is like $500,000, and I'm like, I'll just get a reprint for $3.99.
Yeah.
I know. And the oldest thing I've got in my collection, Spider-Man wise, is I like Spider-Man the Todd McFarlane era. You know, when he basically
hmm
made Venom who he was. Once Venom, very popular in
hmm
like the mid to late '90s. Though that's probably the oldest stuff I got. But the oldest, which I'm beating myself up because it's damaged. It's the last issues of the Defenders from 1986. And I
Wow.
was a little disappointed.
I used to have, when I was a kid, I got some comics I inherited from my mom, and they were like little Lulu comics from like the 50s. I mean, I'm sure she still got them somewhere, but they're probably in horrible shape. That was like my
Oh yeah.
first comic experience.
I'm trying to think. I know one thing I got, and it's pretty cool that I found it, is I've been trying to slowly build on the original TMNT run. So, like, I've got the volume books of 1 and 2, and golly, I forgot how violent the original TMNT was. And I'm like, I'm here for this.
Jason, you'll probably appreciate. I don't know how many issues of Godzilla back when it was like published by Marvel.
hmm
Um, the run in the 70s. Um, and it's like it's like Godzilla just like doing stuff, and then uh, Shield is just like there trying to like do damage control. I found them in like a antique shop in LJ, and so I bought
hmm
like I don't know how many I bought, but it was enough to where it was almost like a couple $100 for
Man,
like X amount. But there's a good bit of them. So
yeah, I've got a couple of those
oh yeah,
from when I was a kid, but I don't know what happened to them. Probably at my mom's house somewhere. Yeah, this is gotta age myself here, but when I was a kid, I had a Godzilla ViewMaster. Remember those? You know what I'm talking
Yeah, where
about?
it's like,
It's
yeah,
like the
you put it up
little
here and you click it.
you put a little reel and you click it and it goes through the different slideshows. Yeah, it was like Godzilla comics in 3D because those are like 3D when it does both your eyes or whatever. So that was pretty fun.
I have a feeling
I
that
used to have
I
those.
feel like a good majority of our audience at home can be like, "What are they talking about?" And they're gonna be like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
thing." Yeah, I remember. I remember growing up. We had a Power Ranger one for school. Our school had them, and like you could read like the Power Ranger
hmm
comics when Power Rangers was big. So I never saw the Godzilla ones, but definitely the Power Rangers ones.
We had a Mickey Mouse one.
Nice. Yeah. All
Yeah, it
you
had like
young
the
viewers out
ear.
there, go get you a ViewMaster. Go check them out.
Yeah, or better yet, we'll dumb it down for them. It was VR before VR. It was basically VR before VR.
It's like a flip
Right.
book.
Oh yeah, flip. Oh, I didn't think good example, Kyle. A flip book. I didn't even think.
hmm
Golly, I haven't seen a flip book or a pop up book. Oh gosh, my nephew who's 2, he got a pop up book for Christmas this year, and I was like, oh wow, I'm surprised. I didn't know those were still a thing.
Can't remember the last time I've seen a pop up book either.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, I didn't even know they still made pop up books.
Yeah. I think the last pop up book I saw was probably a greeting card.
Mine was the last pop up book I remember seeing was dinosaurs. I know that much. Because it had the like T Rex that had the mouth open. So,
hmm Cool.
um, but over on Popcorn Buckets, we review a lot of some bad movies from anywhere from good to bad. So, what are some of the worst sci-fi movies in your opinion?
Oh my gosh. Battlefield Earth. That's pretty bad. There was a time when in college we would like rent that and just sit there and just laugh at it the whole time. We would so totally just uh, MST3K that movie because it's so terrible. Have y'all seen that Battlefield Earth?
Nope.
I have
I know what you're talking
not, but
about,
the
but not
name
Oh
personally.
sounds
my
familiar.
You know
dude,
what it is, Kyle.
you've got
Trust me.
to. It's
Just
John
Google it real fast.
Travolta.
You'll see it.
It's
Oh
John
yeah, it's so
Oh
Travolta.
bad.
gosh.
Yeah, you know he's a Scientologist, and that's like one of the Scientologist guys' high holy science fiction books or whatever made into a movie. And of course, John Travolta's starring in it, and it's about he plays this like giant alien, and they come to Earth, and it's just so ridiculous, and the things they do is just so over the top with bad acting, and like the plot doesn't make any sense, and it's got all these goofy shots of like from like tilted camera stuff, and it's just really really just bad. It's weird. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It would
Another one. Yeah, go
be.
ahead.
Sorry. Oh no, I was gonna say, Kyle.
Another
Popcorn bucket. You would rate it a 1. Sorry, it's just that bad. I've seen clips of it, so I know it's bad.
Oh yeah, it's something fun to laugh at. It really is. And then another bad movie I saw was Skyline. Have you seen that? It came out about like 10 years ago or something.
The Dwayne Johnson one where he's stuck in the really tall building because it's like on fire or whatever.
It's an alien invasion movie, and so that's the reason I went and saw it, because it's aliens. But it's like, and it's sort of set up like a horror movie, but it's like so just silly and bad. And the end of the movie, like, I won't spoil the end of the movie for you if you're going to go see this, but it is like the most ridiculous thing you could ever imagine. I mean, it's just so silly. So yeah, Battlefield Earth and Skyline, both ridiculously bad sci-fi movies.
Okay.
Well, boy, do I got
I'll have to
a
remember
sci-fi movie for you. Planet of the Dinosaurs. Wait, I feel like I'm missing a letter there. It was from 1978. Was it Planet of the Dinosaurs, Kyle, or was it?
Planet of Dinosaurs.
Yeah. Go watch that.
That was the full title.
Okay.
1978.
Planet.
It's on Amazon Prime.
It's like a Star Trek episode. It's a group of researchers. What was it like? What was that one with Adam Driver?
Oh, 65.
65.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that one.
65, but with like a crew. Yeah, it's like 65, but with a crew. And it's just like it's like a Star Trek episode, but it's not great. It's like very. So it's a 70s movie, for sure. So
And clay monster CGI. It's just so beautiful. It brought tears to my eyes.
Nice. I got to check that out. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Another
a
one,
watch. It'll make you
dinosaur movie from the 70s. If you've ever seen The Last Dinosaur, you should check that one out too. It's pretty funny.
Last
Yes.
Dinosaur. Have I seen that one? Is that
it came
is
out
that
the same year.
Last Dinosaur? Hold on, I'm about to look. I felt
70s.
There's even like a pop
Let me
song in
see.
it, like The Last Dinosaur, something like that.
Yeah, this came out the same year as Planet of Dinosaurs.
It'd help if I
Yeah.
could spell.
That's
Let's
fine.
see.
I know.
Go. Here, let me type in movie. Sorry, I'm kind of curious. I think I have seen this. My brain's like, yeah, I have seen this. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that one.
Oh, that's right. The puppetry. Oof. Oh, it was the 70s. What a time to be alive.
yeah.
It's as bad as Veloster Pastor. Veloster Pastor. Go watch.
Velocipaster.
God.
Yeah,
That
wow,
one will make
that's
you
one.
laugh.
I keep telling my wife we need to have like a date night and sit down and watch Velocipaster. I'm like saving it for her, so we could watch that one together.
Good. Oh, it'll be
Oh.
a good. It'll be a good date night. Oh my God, that one was.
Now, if you like slashers, another good one is Attack of the Killer Sofa.
Killer Sofa. Okay, write this down.
It's about a possessed chair that kills people, and it's supposed to be more serious than it is, but the way the chair like moves and does things, it's kind of funny, because it's just like
Yeah, it just moves like this, like an actual chair. When you're trying to pick up that heavy chair, but you can't really pick it up by yourself. It's just. Oh God.
Wow, imagine the pitch meetings for these movies. Okay, there's a chair and it's gonna kill people, and that's the movie.
I mean, it's marketable. It works.
It is. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, so why not a sofa as well?
I mean, there's Killer Donut, which we're gonna record. That's coming out some point next year. We've got to record that. I mean,
what is that one movie with the tire?
oh, that's it. Yeah, Tire.
Yeah.
The Killer Tire. I think
Yeah.
it's just called Tire. Wait. Yeah. Oh, I thought it made their heads explode. Yeah, there's just a random tire that just looks
It could
at
be
you.
that.
It just
It
looks
has
at you.
psychic powers, which is interesting for an inanimate object without a mind.
Oh, God, wait, we're talking a sci-fi movie that him and his wife need to watch. Hell Comes to Frogtown. Do you remember that one, Roddy Piper?
See, that one gets weird because it has like a bunch of frog people and is about a guy's penis. So
Wow.
yeah,
See,
That's why I said
I
watch
didn't
it with your
even
wife. Don't want your daughter see it.
I didn't even know that Roddy Piper did any movies besides They Live.
See,
yeah.
we didn't know that neither, and we saw it, and we were like, "Oh, a cheesy '80 movie," and then we saw him, and we're like, "Great!" And they're like, "Protect his penis," and we're like, "What?"
What's his name
Wow.
again? He has like a really cheesy '80s name.
Oh
Um,
shit, he does.
Hold on a second, I'm looking up.
It's something super cheesy.
His name is Sam Hell.
Oh, that's right, Sam Hill. God, it just screams '80s.
And so
Wow.
basically, Sam Hell gets arrested, and there's like this apocalyptic thing, but they still have like a government system. And because he is still fertile, he has this chastity belt on. And so um, this woman is the nurse, and they have like a whole will they won't they love interest.
Yeah,
And she's like, I don't like you, and I'm a scientist, so I'm better than you, but we have to repopulate the earth.
yeah, just like
Um,
randomly in the middle of the movie, she says that, and they're out in the woods, or no, they're out in the desert, and she's like, "Yeah, we gotta repopulate," and she just starts taking her clothes off. We're like, "What?"
yeah, and then
It's like,
yeah, then there's mutant frogs,
Which they look
and
cool.
uh, she gets kidnapped. He has to save her, and then they end up falling in love. And apparently, there's a couple other movies of this, but it was a roller coaster ride. So yeah,
I'm a scientist. Well, time to repopulate the Earth.
Yep,
oh yeah,
that's what she does. She just literally is like, "I'm better than you," and then maybe within like it was quick too. You're like, okay, obviously it's like she hates him, and then they'll form a friendship. No, within like 5 minutes, she starts taking her clothes off. She's like, "All right, it's time to repopulate the Earth. Come on," and he's like, "What?" And
oh
it's
yeah,
just
It's time.
it's something
You want to bring a baby into this frog hell? Okay.
yeah.
basically. And then it's just watch it when you're bored, but don't watch it with your daughter. There you go. Watch it on a rainy day.
Yeah,
It's a
definitely.
movie.
All right, Jason, what's your favorite dad joke?
Oh my gosh. You just opened up a can of worms. Because I make up my own dad jokes. So, let me just bust out a string for you here.
Ooh.
Number one, where where do you go if you're allergic to pizza? Little
Where?
sneezers. Little sneezers.
Oh my gosh, I didn't expect that.
All right, let's see. Dad joke number two. How do you avoid things that cause cancer?
How?
As best as you can. Okay? Number three. Why can you not order Indian bread as an appetizer?
It's a
Why?
non-starter.
You got it.
Oh.
Good job. Good job. All right, I'll stop it right there.
Okay.
Uh.
Okay. So throughout your videos and TikToks, you have a variety of guitars. Which guitar has the most meaning for you?
The most meaning for me, probably my blonde orchestral model Guild. I got that one when I started back into music after my daughter was done, so that or was born. So that I was done for a while in music, and then um, because my daughter was born, and I just took a few years off. But that was the guitar I got to get back into it, and so that was I have put a lot of miles on that guitar, and it's a great guitar too.
Okay. I done lost my spot in the questions thing. Sorry about that.
I love
'Cause
it.
Yep. Sorry about that. I lost my track. Okay. What advice would you give to musicians you wish you knew when you first started?
Well, I would say find your sound and be true to yourself. Um, don't try to be something you're not. Um, I would say, you'll find out what your brand is, what your sound is, and just zero in on that as quickly as possible and run like hell with it. It's kind of hard as a young musician to kind of find what you want to be. Either you end up doing one of two things. You either end up trying to straight up be somebody else that you like your favorite artist. Like I'm going to try and be that person. Or you have so many musical interests that you just kind of go back and forth through a lot of different things, and you don't find your one unified sound. And so just find your sound and find your visual brand and make sure those are true to yourself, and then that's half the battle right there, I would say.
Awesome.
So we've got one last question for you. Where can the
Okay.
people at home find you and your music?
Easiest place to go is jasonlylesmusic.com. Lyles with a Y. That's got links to everything, all my socials, Spotify, streaming services, YouTube, and all that stuff. But then if you want to find me on TikTok, YouTube, and socials, it's at Jason Lyles Music. And you can follow me on Bands in Town. Just find Jason Lyles Music, and that'll let you know when I'm coming around to your area. And yeah, that's about it. Go listen to my music on whatever streaming platform you enjoy.
Well, awesome. And as always, guys, you can listen to my podcast, More Sports, the sports podcast for everybody, as well the show that we've mentioned several times in this episode, Popcorn Buckets, where we review a movie every Sunday. And hey, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Random Incorporated, where you can watch the video versions of this podcast and other awesome episodes of guest stars that we brought on our show. And hey, follow us on Instagram as Rando Bucket Boys and follow us at Twitter and Rando Corporate One. Jason, you got any last words?
Live long and prosper, and listen to my music on Spotify.